Hey, YouTubers and YouTubettes! It's your buddy Jex Russell coming your way with my very first vinyl slash CD update. These are my purchases from the past month and a half, almost 2 months, I guess. Not very much, but I got quite a few goodies in here. You know, figured I'd have some cool stuff to talk about, so let's get right into it. These first two, I'm going to do them first just to get out of the way. Nothing too impressive, but these are some thrift store finds. They were $1 a piece, so I couldn't really leave them behind. So here we go. Men at Work Cargo from 1982 or 83. And yeah, I didn't have this one. Not rare by any means. I see it all the time at record stores. And so there it was, $1, pretty good shape. So figured I'll pick it up. I like Men at Work. I grew up on the Business as Usual album. My dad had that on cassette, so I thought this is a good ad. I love the song. It's a Mistake. Hear it on the radio all the time. So thought I'd pick it up. And another one at that thrift store, $1. This is not in good shape at all. It's really rough. But once again, I just couldn't leave it be. It's just too cool to leave behind. It's 10 years after A Space and Time. Like I said, rough shape. Both the cover and the vinyl. You see, the cover is all ruined, and I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it is pretty scratched. But yeah, I had to pick it up. Just 10 years after. I was actually I only found out about this band maybe in the past year or so. My coworker Miranda actually told me about these guys. She's always singing the song, "One of These Days, Boy." And yeah, that's how I got into that band. So I found that record. I'm like, oh, I gotta pick this up. All right, this next one is really cool. My boss at work, she knows that I collect vinyl, so she comes to me one day and she's like, and she tells me that her boyfriend has this Beatles vinyl that he doesn't want anymore and was wondering if I'd like it. I'm like, yeah, sure. Which one is it? Just to make sure I didn't have it. And so she calls him up and she's like, oh, it's called Past Masters. I'm like, oh, Past Masters. Yeah, I don't have that one. That'd be awesome. So I go over to their place and yeah, he gives me this, the Beatles Past Masters. Super cool, double LP. This was originally released in 1988, I believe, but this is the 2012 reissue. So yeah, he gives this to me, and I'm like, oh, how much do you want for it, man? And he's like, no, man, take it. I don't want it, so you can just have it. Gave this to me. Like, I was speechless. It's super nice of him. It's a beautiful double LP. Here's the gatefold. Yeah, I love the Beatles, as much as the next guy. I'm not like a hardcore fan or anything, but I grew up on this stuff. My dad was a big Beatles fan, so yeah, this is pretty cool. So a special thanks to Nick and Misty for hooking me up. Like, super awesome. Lots of great single versions on here of Beatles songs. It even has, I think, 2 songs in German. And yeah, it's a great listen. It's like I said, it's 180 gram vinyl. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it sounds great. It's really cool. Really cool add to my Beatles collection. What's next? All right, went to a local record shop called Livewire. Had to think about that for a second. And the owner there, Marty, got quite a few new arrivals. I went and I picked this one up. Ram It Down by Judas Priest, 1988. This is a good album. I knew a lot of the songs on here, but there's a few that I didn't know. But obviously there's the title track, Ram It Down. Blood Red Skies is another popular one. There's Heavy Metal. So yeah, really good album. I love Judas Priest, and this is actually my first Judas Priest on vinyl. I don't have any other ones on vinyl, so I figured this is a good way to start. Fun little story, side note for you guys. A couple of years ago, I was at a thrift store, and I was just digging through some vinyls, and at the thrift stores is always the usual same crap. And then don't I find a copy of Screaming for Vengeance, Judas Priest. I was like, oh my god, this is unbelievable. It was like $1, $2, the thrift store prices. So I was like freaking out, and obviously the first thing I do is pull out the record to make sure it's in good shape. And it turned out it was Quiet Riot, Metal Health, which is an okay album, but it's not Screaming for Vengeance, so I was pretty bummed. So I'm still on the hunt for Screaming for Vengeance on vinyl. Well, yeah, I've ran it down, so this is a good first add to my Judas Priest collection. Next one up. On that same day at Livewire, I picked up Ted Nugent, Free for All. I'm a big Nugent fan, and I didn't have this one, so had to pick it up. Another beautiful gatefold. Yeah, I love Ted Nugent. He's just a great musician. You know, I don't agree with everything that he says, but you know, as far as musically, he's awesome. So yeah, so I picked this one up. Now the only one I'm missing is his self-titled Ted Nugent, and that would complete my Ted Nugent collection as far as Epic Records goes. Then I have to get everything else after that. But as far as Epic Records, I'm only missing the self-titled. Free for All. Keeping up the theme, I picked up two other Nugent records, State of Shock and Intensities in 10 Cities. These were actually to replace, I already had these, but I got these ones to replace my copies I already had, and I'll show you. This is my old State of Shock, and it had some water damage on it, and as you can see, it's pretty curly on the side there, so I found these ones here, and they're in great condition, so, and as you can see, no water damage, so I figured I'd get them to replace. And what's cool about these is that they have, both of these actually have picture sleeves, which I thought was cool. My old copy, but actually both of these have picture sleeves and my old copies didn't, so I was pretty thrilled about that. I'll show you this one here. This one's in kind of rough shape. I don't know if you can see that. It looks like it was stepped on. I don't know, I cleaned it up the best I could, but whatever. It's just the picture sleeve at least. Record is in alright shape. Alright, this is another flea market purchase. Y&T Mean Streak. Didn't know a lot about this band. Heard a few songs here and there. Thought they were pretty cool 80s, you know, hard rock / heavy metal. But Scott Waters and Trog brought up this band a few times on their hard and heavy list. So I thought, oh, I'll pick this one up. This one is from '83. So yeah, I listened to it the other day. It's a good listen. Next up, Loudness, Lightning Strikes, some good old Japanese heavy metal. It's from '86. Really enjoyed these guys once again. Knew them, heard a few songs here and there in the past, but thanks to Scott Waters, really got more into them, so it's pretty cool. They also had, at the same flea market I got this, he had Thunder in the East, I believe the album was called, which I was going to get, but I looked at the record, it was fairly scratched, so I didn't want to take a chance, so for now I got this one. Yeah. Alright, I got two more vinyl purchases at the same flea market. I got Emerson, Lake and Palmer, self-titled, 1971. Really great prog rock. My cousin actually got me into these guys a few years back. He came over with a CD collection and he got me into like Gentle Giant, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, King Crimson, all those bands. I hadn't heard of them and he got me into them, so this one is in good shape. So $10, couldn't pass it up. And my last vinyl here for you guys, ELO, Electric Light Orchestra. This is their Time album from, I think, '81. This is a great one. I actually haven't listened to the whole thing yet, but I bought it especially for the song Twilight, which I love. I discovered it maybe, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago on YouTube. I found this YouTube video that someone made and it had the song Twilight in it, and I was like, wow, that's an awesome song. So, yeah, like I said, I haven't listened to the whole album yet. Don't know if it's any good, but I'm pretty optimistic about it. Electric Light Orchestra is pretty solid. And I believe that is it for the vinyls. Wow, I went through that quicker than I thought. So I'll go through the CDs that I bought in the past month and a half, 2 months, real quick. First of all, Van Halen, Women and Children First, an awesome album. I don't know if I'd say it's my favorite Van Halen. I can't decide. I like a lot of them, especially their first three or four albums are unbelievable. But Women and Children First, this is the remastered one. I got it to replace, I had the original CD release which didn't have a front cover. So I figured, oh, I'll get this one. I get the cover and it's remastered, so can't lose. Misfits, Walk Among Us, 1982. This is their first studio album to be released, but their first studio album is actually, hold on, I have it somewhere, here we go. Static Age was actually the first studio album to be recorded. It was recorded in 78, I believe, but not released till 1997. So this is technically the first Misfits album to be recorded, but for some reason, this one was the first one to be released. Walk Among Us. So yeah, I love it. It's got some awesome tunes on here. 20 Eyes, I Turned Into a Martian, All Hell Breaks Loose, which is probably my favorite song on here. I almost want to say it's my favorite Misfits album. I don't know, it's kind of hard to decide between this one and Earth AD, both solid albums, but this one, it's pretty hard to beat. Alright, this one, I've had it on my wish list. I've been wanting to get it. And one morning I just walk into the Salvation Army, and there it is. I don't often see it in stores, so I was happy to find it. Skid Row, Subhuman Race. This is their third and final album with frontman Sebastian Bach. And that's the only Skid Row I listen to, is the one with Sebastian Bach. Never listened to anything with their other singers. I think he's an awesome dude. He's an awesome frontman. I find him entertaining as hell. So yeah, this album didn't do too well commercially, but I think it's great. Maybe a few songs that I don't care for, but overall it's a great album. Got some pretty heavy stuff on here. So yeah, Subhuman Race, Skid Row, 1996 or 95. Sorry. And then that same week, maybe like 3 or 4 days later, go into a different Salvation Army in town. Just digging through the CDs. And you know how it is, Salvation Army. You usually have the same stuff. You know, nothing too good. And then I see this. Skid Row, Slave to the Grind, which was also on my wish list. I've been wanting to get this one for a while. This is awesome. Probably my favorite Skid Row album. It's from 1991. Probably their heaviest, too. I just discovered this recently, actually. I was looking at like a top 100 heavy metal albums, and this was on here, and for good reason. It's awesome. The title track, Slave to the Grind, is great. Creep Show, Psycho Love, and this is the uncensored version that features the song Get the Fuck Out. So yeah, another awesome Sebastian Bach album. Another album that was on my wish list, Danzig 2, Lucifuge, 1990 also. Yeah, awesome album. I've been wanting to get it for a long time now. I've been listening to it on YouTube over and over, and it's awesome. And then one day I just walked into my local HMV, and there, I just went straight to the metal section, and there it was. Like, they usually never have this in store, so I picked it up. Yeah, it's you got a lot of variety on here. I feel like it's not just one style of music. It's pretty experimental. Like, it's pretty hard and heavy at times, but you also have, for example, the song "I'm the One," which is really bluesy. So yeah, I feel like Glenn Danzig was really experimenting on this one. 777 is probably my favorite track on here. So yeah, Danzig 2, Lucifuge. This one was $15 or 2 for $20. So obviously I'm like, oh, for $5 more, I'll get something else. So I looked at what else they had for 2 for $20, and I picked up David Bowie, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. I didn't have this one. I don't know why, so I figured I should probably get it. This is the 40th anniversary, digitally remastered, so it's cool, gatefold, kind of. I feel like they kept the vinyl feel to it. I don't know if anyone has the vinyl of this, and if so, let me know if it looks anything like this. And you have a little picture sleeve. So yeah, couldn't pass this one up. Quite the David Bowie fan, and I didn't have this one, so problem solved. Another great Salvation Army find. I've been lucking out every time I go. There's just something in there waiting for me, and this time it was Talking Heads. Popular favorites, Sand and the Vaseline. I love Talking Heads. This is a great 2 CD best of compilation released in '92. Yeah, I have their other greatest hits CD, which was released I think in 2004. Got a lot of the same songs, but that one has a few that this one doesn't have, and this one obviously has a lot that the other one doesn't have. So figured I'd be stupid not to pick this one up. $2. So yeah, Talking Heads, big fan. I went to another flea market last weekend. Got 2 CDs here for $5 a piece. Awesome find. Cramps, the Cramps, Psychedelic Jungle, which is their debut album. This comes with the bonus Gravest Hits EP, their first EP. So it's great. It comes up to 19 songs. So yeah, I love the Cramps. The only CD of theirs I have is the Bad Music for Bad People compilation, which is great. It was my introduction to the Cramps. So this year's a great add to my collection. And last but certainly not the least, I can't believe I didn't have this. Pixies, the Pixies, Bossa Nova, from 1990. Yeah, this is a great album. I've had this on MP3 for the longest time, but now I've been buying albums more. I've been more into buying albums and having the actual product. So I figured I might as well buy it and have the real thing. Got some great songs on here. Valoria, Is She Weird, Dig for Fire. I love it. So now, to complete my Pixies collection, I just need to get their Come On Pilgrim and Trompe le Monde. And yeah, I think that will complete my collection. So that's it for my first update in the vinyl community / music community, because I had CDs in here too. So I hope you all enjoyed. Please comment. Let me know what you think. Share your thoughts. Share your knowledge. Send it my way. I want to know what you think. And until next time, this has been Jex. Peace out.